Have you ever wondered how your diet could be affecting your liver health? A key player in this mystery is fructose, a sweet substance that's been quietly sneaking its way onto our plates and into our bodies for the past 5 decades. Picture this. It's the 1970s. Disco is king, bell-bottoms are in, and in the world of food, a new player is about to take the stage: high fructose corn syrup, or HFCS. This cheaper sugar substitute, sweeter than even the sweetest sugar, quickly becomes a beloved ingredient for food manufacturers. Why? Well, it's not only sweet, but it's also cost-effective, making it an attractive option for those looking to cut costs and boost flavors. In no time, HFCS starts to pop up everywhere. It's in your breakfast cereals, your favorite baked goods, and yes, even in your beloved soft drinks. But wait, it gets even more insidious. HFCS is not just in the sweet treats we all know and love. It's also hiding in products you wouldn't expect, like salad dressings, canned fruits, and even bread. Before we know it, fructose consumption in the United States is skyrocketing, and it's not slowing down. Now you might be thinking, it's just a type of sugar, right? How bad can it be? Well, that's where the plot thickens. Over the years, multiple studies have drawn a line connecting increased HFCS consumption with the nation's obesity epidemic and numerous inflammatory conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, and even cancer. Yet despite all these alarming connections, the US Food and Drug Administration continues to treat HFCS like any other sweetener, like sucrose or honey. Their advice? Just use it in moderation. But as we're about to see, there might be more to this story than meets the eye. Despite the links between HFCS and numerous health conditions, it continues to be regulated similarly to other sweeteners, with moderation advised. But is moderation enough when it comes to fructose? Stick around as we delve deeper into this sweet and sticky issue. But how exactly does fructose consumption lead to fatty liver disease? This is a question that researchers at the University of California, San Diego set out to answer in a study published in the journal Nature Metabolism on August 24, 2020. The role of fructose in the development of fatty liver disease is a complex one, but it begins with the way our bodies break down this type of sugar. Fructose is metabolized by an enzyme called fructokinase, which is produced both in our liver and in our gut. In the ideal scenario, this process works seamlessly, providing energy for our bodies without causing harm. However, the situation changes drastically when our fructose consumption exceeds what our bodies can handle. This excessive intake, often due to diets high in high fructose corn syrup, a common ingredient in processed and packaged foods, alters the way our bodies process fructose. Excessive fructose metabolism in the intestinal cells reduces the production of proteins that maintain the gut barrier. This barrier is a layer of tightly packed epithelial cells covered with mucus that prevents bacteria and microbial products such as endotoxins from leaking out of the intestines and into the bloodstream. When this barrier is disrupted, it leads to what is known as a leaky gut. The endotoxins that escape from the intestines trigger inflammation in the liver, leading to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, a condition affecting 1 in 3 Americans. The ancient Egyptians had a sense of this, albeit in a different context. They fed ducks and geese dried fruit rich in fructose to induce fatty liver and produce their version of foie gras. Today, we're seeing a similar effect in humans, not from dried fruit, but from a diet high in processed foods and drinks laden with high fructose corn syrup. The study concludes that fructose does its dirty work in the intestine, and if the deterioration of the intestinal barrier is prevented, the fructose does little harm to the liver. Fructose, it seems, has a very specific and dangerous role in our health. Our gut barrier is an important line of defense in our bodies, but what happens when fructose consumption interferes with it? Let's dive in. Our gut barrier is essentially a layer of tightly packed cells covered with mucus. This barrier stops bacteria and microbial products like endotoxins from leaking out of the intestines and into the bloodstream. It's like a fortress protecting us from harmful invaders. But certain things can weaken this fortress, and one of those researchers found is excessive fructose consumption. Here's how it works. Fructose is broken down in our digestive tract by an enzyme called fructokinase. This enzyme is produced by both the liver and the gut. However, when we consume too much fructose, this process goes into overdrive in the intestinal cells, leading to a decrease in the production of proteins that maintain the gut barrier. Without these proteins, our gut fortress weakens and the tightly packed cells start to loosen up. This allows bacteria and other microbial products to leak out of the intestines and into the bloodstream. It's like our fortress has been breached and the invaders are now flooding in. But here's the real kicker. Once these invaders are in our bloodstream, they can cause a whole host of problems. They can trigger inflammation, which is linked to a variety of diseases, including heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. But most notably, they can cause non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, a condition that affects 1 in 3 Americans. So what we see is a chain reaction. Excessive fructose consumption leads to a weakened gut barrier, which allows harmful bacteria and toxins into our bloodstream, which can then cause liver disease. And all of this starts with the foods and drinks we consume that are high in fructose, like soft drinks, cereals, and baked goods. The damage to the liver, it seems, starts in the gut. So the key to preventing liver disease might be as simple as protecting our gut barrier from the effects of excessive fructose consumption. So, what can we do to protect our livers and our health? This question brings us to the heart of the matter: prevention and treatment. One of the most promising avenues of research is the development of treatments that prevent the disruption of the intestinal barrier. The intestinal barrier is a vital component of our digestive system. It's like a gatekeeper, allowing nutrients to pass into our bloodstream while keeping harmful substances out. But here's the rub. Excessive consumption of fructose, particularly in the form of high fructose corn syrup, can weaken this barrier. This allows harmful substances, including bacteria and microbial products known as endotoxins, to leak out of the intestines and into the blood. Over time, this can lead to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, a condition affecting 1 in 3 Americans, and potentially more serious conditions like cirrhosis, liver cancer, and liver failure. Researchers at the UC San Diego School of Medicine, however, have a potential solution. In a study published in August 2020 in Nature Metabolism, they suggest that finding ways to prevent this disruption of the intestinal barrier could protect the liver from non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. This could be a game changer, a way to prevent liver damage before it even starts. The key lies in the enzyme fructokinase, which is produced both by the liver and the gut. When fructose is metabolized excessively in intestinal cells, the production of proteins that maintain the gut barrier is reduced. By developing treatments that prevent this process, we could keep the gut barrier strong, preventing harmful substances from leaking out of the intestines. In effect, we'd be stopping fructose from doing its dirty work in the intestine and preventing it from causing harm to the liver. It's a promising avenue of research and one that could have profound implications for our health. Remember, the best way to protect your liver is to keep your gut healthy. And the best way to keep your gut healthy is to be mindful of your fructose consumption. As with so many things in life, moderation is key. Prevention, as always, is better than cure. Our health is in our hands, and understanding the impact of our dietary choices is a step in the right direction. Indeed, knowledge is power, and the more we know about what we consume, the better we can protect ourselves. Today, we've delved into the effects of excessive fructose consumption, a substance often hidden in processed foods and drinks. We've learned that the surge of fructose in our diet since the 70s, largely due to the introduction of high fructose corn syrup, has been linked to a myriad of health issues, including obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and more. The most alarming, perhaps, is its role in the development of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, a condition affecting 1 in 3 Americans. But with this knowledge comes hope. By understanding how fructose disrupts the intestinal barrier, we can work towards prevention and treatment, potentially averting liver damage before it even begins. Thank you for watching, and we hope you found this video helpful and informative. Please hit the subscribe button for more insightful videos like this one.